The following 4R Plus practices are primarily for sloping landscapes that are not tile drained. These practices decrease the movement of sediment and nutrients from the field before they reach a stream, river, or lake. Because these practices reduce soil erosion, they are effective at decreasing particulate phosphorus losses from crop fields. Several of these practices can be applied to the existing topography of the field, such as contour farming, while others are physical structures that require soil to be moved to build the structure, such as terraces. Contour farming is best suited for fields with hills and slopes. It involves planting the crop around hills on a horizontal contour pattern rather than up and down hills. Contour crop rows form small dams to slow water movement and decrease sheet and rill erosion. These row dams reduce sediment movement and keep soil and nutrients in place. Slowing water movement and reducing runoff results in better water infiltration and water holding capacity compared to planting up and down hills. Contour buffer strips and prairie strips rely on the principles of contour farming and involve alternating row crops with narrow strips of perennial vegetation that also follow the contour. These vegetative strips slow water movement and reduce surface runoff, increase water infiltration in both the vegetative and crop strips, capture soil and nutrients before they can move out of the field, can be harvested as forage and fed to livestock, and provide wildlife and pollinator habitat. Terraces are a common practice on sloping and hilly fields. Terraces are earthen embankments built along the horizontal contour of the field to reduce the lengths of the slopes between terraces. They create shorter distances for runoff or eroded soil to travel before being impeded by the next terrace. Terraces have many benefits, including reducing soil erosion by lessening slope lengths between terraces, decreasing the likelihood of gullies forming in the field, reducing runoff and improving water infiltration in crop areas between terraces, and trapping sediment and nutrients, especially phosphorus that is attached to soil particles. Other soil protecting practices like buffer strips, cover crops, or no-till are often added on terraced fields to further reduce soil erosion. Grade stabilization structures are built across waterways and contain a spillway that slows water flow before it drops to a lower elevation. The spillway of these structures is made of metal pipe, rock, concrete, or other materials. These structures improve water quality and reduce erosion below the structure, filter nutrients and sediment contained in water flowing through associated grassed waterway, and stop gullies from forming in fields upstream or downstream of the structure. Ponds are constructed by either building an embankment across a slope or by excavation. Ponds have many benefits, including reducing soil erosion downstream of the pond, improving water quality downstream of the pond by collecting, storing, and filtering runoff water entering the pond, and watering livestock, recreational activities, and providing habitat for fish and wildlife. Water and sediment control basins are similar to terraces, but typically are used on less sloping fields that are not farmed on the contour. These basins slow water movement and reduce runoff, and unlike terraces that usually extend to the field edges, these basins are usually just long enough to bridge an area of concentrated water flow and potential erosion. By slowing water flow, water and sediment control basins reduce soil erosion, especially gully erosion on moderately sloped fields. Water detained in the basin releases slowly into an intake after sediment and nutrients have settled out. This settling out process improves water quality of the discharged water. Each basin is limited to less than a 50-acre drainage area. Spacing between basins depends on slope, tillage practices, and equipment size. 4R Plus combines 4R nutrient stewardship practices with plus conservation practices to bring about what we all desire: higher productivity and profitability, healthier soil, and better water quality. While Iowa has many different agricultural landscapes across the state, ranging from fields that are virtually flat to very hilly fields and everything in between, we hope you've seen today that a diverse suite of 4R nutrient stewardship and conservation practices is available to fit and benefit every farming operation.